In today's video, we're going to talk about the Avengers of Kang's Dynasty. Why? Because they've got to start shooting next year. Why? Because on the official slate, the Kang's Dynasty is still coming out 2026. So there's some pretty interesting information going around. Obviously, this far out, it's rumor mill stuff, plot leak stuff, but at the same time, lots of information that have come out years ahead of movies has turned out to be true. So we're going to go over that. But it also comes back to the first Deadpool 3 trailer, realistically, because this is all to set up the Avengers Secret Wars. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube? Wish you have your new anime subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, pop culture-based content that I try to cover on a daily basis. If you could, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know, what are you most excited for, looking forward as a Marvel fan, or just someone that generally watches Marvel movies? So, if you could, become a channel member for less than less than $1. It really does help me out. Also, if you could, follow us on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful face. And if you could, follow us on Twitter, WarstuG. Right, let's go into it. So, right at the end of the first trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine, what do we get? We got Deadpool on the floor, then we got Hugh Jackman, Wolverine come in, and we got a comic book cover of Avengers Secret Wars. Now, this was Kevin Feige trying to remind the core Marvel audience that it's all building up to Secret Wars, which is a multiversal movie, because we're in a multiversal slate. Now, I know everyone seems to think Kang is not going to appear because Jonathan Majors was fired because of what happened in the court case. But if you look on the official Disney calendar, which has been updated as of last month, April, the Kang's Dynasty is still coming out 2026, Avengers Secret War 2027. There is a lot of untitled Marvel movies coming out actually in 2026, which is interesting. And yeah, 2026 mainly, which is interesting. So we've got to get the multiversal storyline going. So Sean Levy, Ryan Reynolds, they can all say Deadpool, Wolverine, it's not really a multiversal story. It's not Deadpool 3. It's its own story. Nah, it's not, because the way that movie's going to end, it's going to set up a multiversal storyline. Sure, there will be some grounded level stuff happening in some projects in this phase, sure, but the overall biggest story from movies such as Doctor Strange 3, which isn't even confirmed, but movies like that will really be the tentpole to build up to Avengers Secret Wars. So Avengers 5 is coming. Now, there is some new information going around from a new wannabe scooper, if you want to call them that. But because it really isn't any way to verify this person until stuff comes out, this person is the person that was behind the saying that the Captain Marvel 2 post-credit scene is the X-Men universe and stuff like that. Holyfield M5 on Twitter, who has actually blocked me. No surprise there. Holyfield News. Yeah, someone get him to unblock me, but I still get sent the stuff. So let's go over it. And a lot of it is really kind of guessable stuff. I'm not like other people. I will literally tell you what I think. I won't just report the story and then go, yeah, it's confirmed, it's breaking. No, I don't do that. I'll tell you if I think it's true. But a lot of this stuff is kind of basic. It's obvious stuff to anybody, really. But, you know, the Avengers movies always bang, so we like talking Marvel. So Steven Jr. has been in the mix to direct the project. Well, they're gonna have to start shooting it next year, so they're gonna need someone to direct it. So yeah, we can confirm they are looking for a director for Avengers 5 and 6. Sure, we know this script's been worked on for Avengers 5 and 6 after the previous person who was scribing it was basically let go. We don't really know what happened there. So the US government is going to be heavily involved. Okay, cool, because they kind of need to be in a way. So if this is the case, Captain America Brave New World is basically going to be a prerequisite for Avengers 5. Most likely, whatever happens at the end of a Captain America 4 will be a big part to set up the Avengers 5 story going forward, and then that is to set up Secret Wars. But Marvel's got to be very clever because they don't really have any top-tier actors in sense of beloved stars in Marvel, except for maybe Tom Holland, Spider-Man, maybe Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, and that's probably about it in my opinion. Avengers 5 will feature 2 different types of villains. One that's grounded based street level. I don't know if I believe that. That's a bit far-fetched. And Kang, who's multiversal. So either way, this whole storyline was set up predominantly from Multiverse of Madness and No Way Home and Loki Season 1. And Kang's been around for all of that. So you can't just throw Kang away. Kang can be recast, as we know, in the Ant-Man post-credit scene. There was hundreds of Kang. The only mistake Marvel really made was by having the same actor play every single variant of Kang, presumably at the time, where we've seen Scarlet Centurion, Ramatut, so on and so forth. But realistically, they don't need to explain a recast because this has happened before, Marvel. They don't really need to explain a recast. So, of course, Kang will still be around, and it will most likely be a variance of the Beyonder, so on and so forth. And realistically, that doesn't even mean Kang's the overall villain going forward. It just means Avengers 5 is still called Kang's Dynasty, so Kang will appear. As for this street-level villain, I don't know about that, because realistically, that's more of the Daredevil side. That's more of the Spider-Man side. And if you're going to go down that route, it would have to be Wilson Fisk. And Wilson Fisk has appeared in a lot of places now. Is Wilson Fisk really going to be an Avengers level threat villain? No, because Wilson Fisk got bodied so many times by everyone to the point where it would be stupid. So unless they're going to introduce another street level villain as like a sub boss for Avengers 5, I don't know what to actually say about that, to be honest. New Avengers HQ will be revealed. There also won't be a big three on this team like before. Yeah, because they don't have anybody. They really don't. Hulk isn't really a fan favorite because they've depowered him. Unless we get World War Hulk. The new Captain America hasn't really been accepted by anyone. And every time I say that, people get really triggered. Just look at the numbers that the Falcon TV show did. It wasn't very good. I mean, Captain America 4 movie, that movie has to do so well. And this is most likely the reason why they are doing extensive reshoots on the Justice League 2017 level. Reshoots, basically changing the whole story, because in order to make people care about the new Captain America, you need to make him relatable, so on and so forth. So maybe the street level villain is for Captain America, because it's listing a team here which will be the foundation for the Avengers. Now, as we know, there will always be Thor, Doctor Strange, so on and so forth appearing at some point, but you can't rely on them all the time. So according to this information coming from Holyfield News, the team will start out with Captain America, Hulk, Falcon, and Black Panther in Captain America: Brave New World. And it's interesting because if you do remember Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, most of the Avengers, even if they weren't part of the Holy Six, the OG Avengers, Captain America, Hulk, Falcon, Black Panther, they've all really interacted or been in the same place at the same time as other people. So something like this has to happen, because we can't just jump into Avengers 5 and there be a new team being pushed into each other. The team has to kind of interact, and there has to be some massive setup before we get to Avengers 5. So yes, I do believe this information that there will be some kind of setup for the new Avengers, or the new Avengers team in Captain America 4. Probably could be some kind of setup in the new Spider-Man movie, but no one knows who Spider-Man really is. So yeah, there could be some setup in the Daredevil TV show. Realistically, they could set a lot of stuff up in other movies. The Thunderbolts movie, they could set up some stuff in there. They really do have a lot of movies that they could set things up here and there if they choose to go down that route. But realistically, we're not going to jump to Avengers 5 with no team being established, and we can't really bring back the Golden Three because they're not around anymore. So it's going to be very interesting to see what actually happens with Avengers 5, because Avengers 4 and Avengers 3 were absolute hype movies, and realistically, that is what Marvel's going to try to do. But seeing this is a multiversal saga that a lot of people keep forgetting, it has to be a Kang-related villain. The street-level villain? I don't know about that. But why would Kingpin be the street-level villain? Is Doctor Doom going to be like... It will make more sense if Doctor Doom is the street-level villain, even though Doctor Doom is OP and OP... It would make more sense if it was Doctor Doom working with Kang rather than someone like Kingpin. We know the TV show is allegedly going to have him being president of New York, so on and so forth, but I don't think Kingpin's good enough and big enough to be any kind of Avengers level threat, to be honest. Not after everything they've already gone through in the previous Avengers movies. It's not a case of going backwards to go forwards. They need to go forwards to go forwards. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hawkeye does appear at some point. To be honest, there's a lot of Avengers that could appear. It doesn't mean they have to be like the main cast, but it is interesting. I am very much looking forward to where Deadpool 3 sets everything off, because there is an ending scene which I guess kind of sets up stuff, but not really, but kind of in a roundabout way. So likewise, guys, like I said, we can't really validate this new scooper, and with, you know, Toast with Marvel trying to subpoena Instagram to get Toast information. Basically, none of the scoopers can be trusted, which is kind of a good thing, because we treat all this rumor mill stuff like it's just a rumor. But yeah, I know I've done a lot of Avengers videos in the past. So we will be covering all Marvel movies going forward, not just Deadpool 3. I want to cover everything Marvel going forward alongside a bunch of other stuff. So if you could, please subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, check us out on Instagram at Warstu, and I'll catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch you later.